Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation. Of this long-term and complex investigation. Of this long-term and complex investigation. Of this long-term and complex investigation.
Welcome to Truth and Transparency. What is good? What is good? Sorry for the delay. A girl's got to sleep a little bit. Trying to anyways. So good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're at. Let's talk about it. The Delphi case. This was actually the case I was covering right before the Idaho 4 murders. I was deep diving and starting it from the beginning. And then boom. Idaho 4 happened. Started heavily researching the Idaho 4 case, trying to balance, a couple of these cases as well as a couple of the personal stuff that, isn't in mainstream media's limelight. So again, I want to say thank you for the mods for being here. Thank you guys for waiting, being patient. I wanted to start this earlier, but I bet everybody on the West Coast is enjoying the fact that it's a little bit later. Just got off the phone with the Moores. I like to just stalk everybody. I'm going to try to give Jennifer Drake a call, see if she wants to come on the show. But this is a platform for everybody. As long as you want to be truthful and transparent, we'll take you. Because I will sniff your panties out and I will find your lies. Did you guys see my my community post yesterday? Yeah. Anyways. But yeah, been filming, been researching files after files, transcripts, depositions, crime scene photos, getting autopsy reports into the hands of medical professionals, people that are willing to donate some of their time. But yeah, so I do apologize for the delay. But you guys like that? I figured that. There you go. All right, so here it is, the Delphi case. Richard Allen's defense team comes out with a 1-2 punch. Boom. Over 130 some pages saying, yo, this investigation was ridiculous, sloppy. You overlooked all these, first of all, you overlooked the crime scene. It was staged. It was not, this is not the work of one person undressing somebody, redressing somebody in different clothes. You guys have read those. And if you haven't, go check it out. But 136 pages, a law firm, respectable, doing and going above and beyond for Richard Allen, if you ask me. This is public defenders, but they're really good lawyers, right? Yeah, because public defenders, that doesn't mean that you're like a shitbag or that you can't do it. Usually public defenders, though, have their hands tied in so much that it's just so hard to get through material, to look at stuff. But here, so low blow punches, but they're on the ropes now. Well, we're going to find actually out about that, if they're truly on the ropes or not. Just like in the Idaho 4 case, I showed the past couple of days, you had mainstream media coming out and basically trolling Ann Taylor, saying that she did, she should have never taken on Brian Kohlberger because she was representing one of the victim's moms. Come to find out, then you put the victim's mom on saying that she gave her power of attorney. All of this is LIES, lies. The public defender's office 100% has represented a couple of those parents at one time or another. And that's the public defender's office as a whole. That is not Ann Taylor. And I mean, public power of attorney, that never happened. So at the end of the day, mainstream media control. They're the biggest trolls. They have the platform to do it. They can put on whoever they want, and we're just supposed to believe it. And everybody believed what? Xana's mom. Well, was Xana's mom telling the truth? No. And now Xana's mom has questions. We'll get to that in the Idaho 4 case, though. So back over here in the Delphi case, Richard Allen's defense team, again, above and beyond. Just recently, it has come out that there was a leak that put out the crime scene photos. I have not seen any. I have no idea out there who has. Nothing like that has ever been sent to me. But it's very interesting to me that stuff has been leaked to me before. Weird stuff, right? Stuff that may have nothing to do with anything. I don't know if I've ever called the police department to say, this is what I got in any type of situation, unless it's been like a death threat. But so let's hear how this actually happened. Ready?
Wayne, not Delphi, to consider, quote, other matters which have recently arisen. We didn't know what she meant. Now we think we do. Richard Allen is set to go on trial January 8th for the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German in the vicinity of the Monon High Bridge near Delphi in 2017. Weeks after Allen's arrest and first court appearance nearly a year ago, Judge Fran Gull of Allen County appointed Andrew Baldwin of Franklin and Bradley Rosie of Logansport to represent him. Their full-throated 3-page press release defense of their client early on led Judge Gull to issue a gag order on all the parties, assuring the case against Allen would be debated in a courtroom, not in the media.
After Richard Allen's defense team wanted to reach out to the public and ask for help, just like the investigators did for 5 years, Richard Allen's defense team, when they were hired, they reach out to the public and they want the public's help. Immediately, a gag order was strapped. Okay. So immediately this gag order comes out.
Yeah. But this past spring, there was an inadvertent leak of evidence from the defense to someone who posted it online, leading to a dressing down by the judge who gave Allen's defenders a second chance. But in the last month, amid a flurry of defense.
So they're saying that there was a leak that happened this past spring. Okay. So there was a leak this past spring, allegedly a leak this past spring, and they were given a second chance. Again, this was allegedly coming from the defense. Not sure what the leak was in the spring. Okay. But
filings and state responses that have claimed withheld evidence and speculation about a cult of killers. Another alleged defense leak has come to light, again to social media posters who claim to have sensitive crime scene evidence. Murder Sheet podcasters Kevin Greeley and Anya Kane have tracked down the leak and shared the results of their investigation with us. Some of it we've confirmed independently, which alleges a former employee of defense attorney Andrew Baldwin had access to the defense team's files and released that information to a man who then shared it with two other Delphi social media followers. One of them reportedly passed it on to other Delphi case virtual followers. The other called the podcasters and urged them to tell Indiana State Police, which they did, which would have been in the couple days last week before Judge Gull decided to call a special hearing next week to consider, quote, other matters which have recently arisen. What are the judge's options? At the very least, she can scold the defense and put them on a short leash, or she can fire Richard Allen's attorney, citing a pattern of defense leaks and comments, and appoint new lawyers, and no doubt delay his January 8th trial date. On an added note, investigators have also been advised of the unexpected death this past week of one of those individuals who was named as a social media Delphi follower who had access to the leaked information. In the newsroom,
I was given information pertaining to actually the person that lost their life. Before I can confirm that with, I'm not going to put that out there, but I was given and received the obituary. So again, I'm going to double check into that, but so this is what comes out. And I will say this, a couple of things that how I feel about this is the two lawyers here that started this podcast, you know, they were heavily into this whole Keegan Klein angle. They've interviewed people. I'm going to show you guys right here. Oopsies.
Tracked down the leak and shared the results of their investigation with us. Some of it we've confirmed independently.
So when this 136 pages came out, these two were not bout it, as you could say back in the day, Master P, Ghetto D. I felt that I wanted to see how they would respond to this because they believed heavily that Richard Allen was the guy, that he's guilty. And I wanted to see what their reaction would be to this 136 pages. And it's interesting to me that one could read the 136 pages and not have serious pause with that. We believe that these lawyers would risk their entire career, okay, to put together basically what people could say is a novel. Okay. You could read it. So I was really, really interested to see what they thought about the 136 pages. And this just shows like, can you be biased or, I mean, can you be unbiased? How are you going to react to something like this? Your lawyers, you read it. What'd you think? And it's interesting to me. It's interesting that this whole leak would then come about not too long after, and it puts these two back in the center of this case. These two were people that went out and got information by doing requests, stuff that we all have seen because of them. But how can you deny what is in those 136 pages? You either think it's either think that these lawyers, Allen's lawyers, are lying, okay, or that Delphi and the Indiana State Police did not investigate at all and follow leads that they were supposed to. So hold on one second. I want to do something really quick. Now, Drunk Turkey back in the day had them on. And let's see.
There's something up with your
McDonald by Jerry Holman,
okay.
who is the lead Indiana State Police detective that's working on the case.
Yeah. Got you.
Check this out.
And you could see the sticks that were aligned on the bodies. Did it appear that they were purposefully put in place in the position that they were, or did it look more random?
Definitely. There's no way there was anything random about it.
Gotcha.
Okay.
You had mentioned that.
Right here, this is Rick. Delphi After Dark. So he's been following Delphi. And right there, I wanted you guys to hear it. Yeah, definitely. There's nothing random about it.
Or also the paperwork from the defense mentions how clean Abby was. What would you can see? I'm assuming there was no blood on her clothes, because I know she was wearing Libby's clothes. Is that correct?
She was wearing Libby's jeans and hoodie. So Delphi swimming, I think.
Got you. And there was what looked like an asterisk symbol, which is a ruin on her. Is that correct?
Yeah, kind of on the left shoulder, maybe.
Gotcha. And so did you see the horns that supposedly were above Abby?
I saw that the sticks that I saw looked more like antenna than horns. They were thin and long, and one of them was like kind of leaning over to the side. Yeah, this is a very inaccurate photo here.
This is very inaccurate?
Yeah, really inaccurate, because it's only showing the main sticks that were on there. Libby was on the right, not the left.
Okay, so let me get this straight. He comes on here and they're talking about, correct me if I'm wrong, is he discussing the crime scene photos here on this podcast when he went on Drunk Turkey? Right? So this guy openly goes out, this Rick guy, and says, I'm going to tell you guys, I'm going to put out the crime, scene and tell you where everybody was, right? Okay.
Abby's at more of almost like a 90-degree angle, but they both were kind of framed with larger branches. So
really,
yeah, it was weird. It was weird looking.
And which branch?
I don't know if I'm familiar enough with the area to be able to tell what I was looking at.
Gotcha.
Alibi. He always said that he was up there watching the fish. I find that too hard to believe, because the fish would be like little specks from that high.
Actually, there are some larger carp that you can see.
Okay.
You can see them from the bridge.
I would say, have you been up there and walked the bridge before?
Yeah, I have a video on my page that's been right there. So.
Gotcha. So you brought it up that you've gotten some pictures of the crime scene, and well, first, how many pictures have you received?
I had 4 pictures sent to me.
4 pictures sent.
4 pictures sent.
And do you don't have to disclose them, but do you know who the person is that sent it to you, or was it by random?
It was an anonymous email that has sent me stuff for probably about 6 months now. Just not like constantly, like maybe once every couple of weeks. They would send me something.
Boom. This has been an email that has been sending stuff for about 6 months. Okay, 6 months. Right here, if I'm Alan's defense team, I'm getting this guy in there, and I'm going to say that this is the same leak. This is the same leak from 6 months ago. That puts you about springtime, wouldn't it? From the first leak, wouldn't it? Okay. So right here, he's admitting that he's been getting stuff for 6 months. 6 months. And it's the same email that sent him stuff 6 months ago. Number one. Number two, again, this is going to the defense team, because you want to think that I have trolls in my fucking chat. People are trolling people in real life every single day, okay, in murder investigations, in murder cases, and it's insane. And it's because of what? That's a way of, it's like people that go and gamble on sports. Don't go and buy the player, go and buy the referee. They're the one that can call a holding call to pull that touchdown back. They're the one that can truly determine a game. You want to cheat, go buy the referees. So here we go. Right here, he's admitting he's gotten 4 pictures, but he's also admitting that he's been getting stuff from an email, an anonymous email that has been sending him Delphi stuff for a long time, but the leak started 6 months ago. That would be the same time frame that when, if you want to back stuff up with this case, talking about a spring leak. Well, your spring leak is right here. So my question is,
and they would say, you know, like, is this real or have you seen this? So I've had a lot of people tell me they have crime scene pictures, you know, and then when they send them to me, they're not the crime scene, they're fakes.
I have had people do that to me with the Idaho 4 case and stuff like that. So,
But this person, they emailed me and said, I've got something to show you. And they said, let me know if you think it's real or not. And the very first one I clicked on was Abby. And the minute I saw it, I knew it was real. I knew they were legit.
Gotcha. Were the girls identifiable? Like, as if somebody saw the pictures, they could definitely identify that those were Libby and Abby?
If you knew what they looked like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, gotcha. And so you said you got 4. The first one was Abby. Was this from the perspective of, well, was there anybody in the background of these pictures?
No.
Okay, so this is probably somebody that found them. I assume that if it was police department, then you would be able to see forensic people in the background, things of that nature, if you could see the background.
Yeah, I think.
right there, money question. Kudos to Daniel on this question is normally you're going to start laying down your exhibit markers, okay? So did this picture have the crime scene roped off? Did it have the yellow markers? Was it identifying things laying down? So the crime scene photos that they were talking about, this leak, was it law enforcement photos or was it another photo? So think about it. Everybody's going crime scene photos have been leaked. Well, were they from who? Who were they from? Is it from a picture of somebody that was actually at the crime scene that took it? Because then those aren't leaked. That's not law enforcement stuff. We'll continue on.
I tend to think that they were some sort of official photos because it seemed like the way the pictures were taken were to show certain aspects. And I think that they were probably some kind of official source to begin with, but they weren't really pictures. They were pictures of pictures. There was one where you could see a cursor in the picture.
Gotcha.
So you knew it was a picture of a computer screen.
Gotcha.
So it was, I'm guessing, I mean, it could have been somebody as disconnected, you know, to the main body of the investigation as a paralegal, you know,
Right.
that's doing something with the files.
Now, in these pictures,
Right there, a paralegal doing something with the files. Or could it also be that, how do I want to say this? Before Baldwin, and actually like there was an arrest of Richard Allen, these crime scene photos were there. Okay, they existed, right? Was there ever a leak? No. But as soon as Richard Allen gets arrested and he has a defense that is 100% capable of defending him, very good at their job. What do we need to do? Just like they try to do in Idaho, we need to get Ann Taylor off of the case. We need Ann Taylor off this case. Okay. Well, what do I see? We need Baldwin and Rossi off this case. That's what I see.
and I'm assuming you could probably get a clear picture or a clear view of the scene. Did it look like there was any discoloration to one side or one part of the body that wasn't on the other side?
No, not really.
No. Okay. What about like swelling to the face? If you could have seen that, was there one side and not the other side?
You couldn't really tell.
Gotcha. Another reason why I'm asking is because sometimes when a person passes, the gravity will take place and the blood will pretty much pull in one part or another part of the body, and that'll end up it'll be darker. It'll be
Right.
purplish.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Let me pull this up quick.
And I think they said that they cut that part of the tree out, right? It's not there no more visible.
I don't know. I thought they didn't. That they left it there.
Oh, or maybe they took an imprint of it.
Did the F you saw on the tree, did it resemble this accurately, or was it different?
That doesn't look anything like it at all.
Okay.
It was definitely intentional and definitely meant to look like what it was. I mean, there's no doubt about that. This does not resemble anything I've ever seen.
Okay, so then if these are crime scene photos, then somebody knew to take a picture of the F on the tree. Okay. Or would somebody be taking a picture of the F on the tree because they know what it, like, if that F was not significant, why would you be taking a picture of it if it wasn't a way to mark something? If you're totally going to like bypass that. Anyway, so here we go. We have this leak. People decide to come out. This reminds me of the Rachel Del Tondo case when we're talking about a leak. All right. Rachel Del Tondo, 6 months before she was murdered, there was a leak that came out that she was in a steamed up car with Sheldon Jeter Jr. At 2:00 in the morning. And it was based on a police report that had never been written up until almost something like 16 months later. So here, this leak then comes out, and then 6 months later, Miss Del Tondo is gunned down and murdered in her driveway, or her parents' driveway, on Mother's Day night at like 10:45 p.m. And once the leak came out 6 months before her death, she started receiving death threats saying, and I have the text messages, and they're saying things like, you're not going to live to see the end of 2018, which she didn't. And she was scared, and she had turned these over to an investigative journalist, okay, who he wanted to use her as a source because he was looking into and writing up about the city's, police and government buildings and those employees. So anyways, so when I think about like this leak or whatever, this is how I feel about a leak. Why are you putting it out? Why doesn't the person that gave it to you put it out? Why? Like, it's kind of like in the trolling world. Oh, I'm going to send Lana a screenshot and get her all riled up about something. No, I just don't give a fuck. But why don't you put it out? Why, if the person that has it, why aren't they putting it out? Oh my God, So I'm going to go pass this around, and then you get it, and then you're the person that puts it out or talks about it. Okay, well, I don't understand how two lawyers could possibly be, if somebody from my law firm decided to be a complete fuck, okay, and go against, X, Y, and Z, again, how is it on me? Especially if they would have downloaded stuff back in the spring. So if they had this stuff back in the spring, at any point in time, they could have said, okay, I'm going to, I already have them. I downloaded them. Now I'll go ahead and push these out. But why? And how is that going to fall on two attorneys? If they identified the leak 6 months ago during the spring, you think that Baldwin and Rossi are going to be like, we're going to keep this person on? No, they're going to fire their asses. Okay? They're gone. But guess what? Just because they fired them does not mean that they don't still have that material, because they downloaded it in some capacity, brought in an external hard drive, plugged it in, downloaded it. But you're going to sit here and tell me that the police, if these people went to the police, hey, this is the email that I got this from. This is involving a very serious case, blah, blah, blah. They look real to me. I don't know, but I've been getting leaks from them for a very long time, 6 months, whatever. And I've been using them though. I've been using them as a source. I've been going and, having podcasts, and I've been using their material. Well, I think that you're just as complicit. But if you go to the police and you give them the email and can't they pull a search warrant on that shit? I mean, I've seen people get pulled search warrants for way less than this. I mean, this is I think. So go get it. Go do it. So in the spring, why wouldn't that have been handled that way? Because all that Rossi and Baldwin can do is fire somebody. All right. What are we supposed to do? If this was a criminal matter, then the police could do something to this person that would have been part of the leak in the spring, right? So what is Baldwin and Rossi supposed to do? This had already happened in the spring, right? With that person. But now they're saying that this has happened again. What happened from the same fucking source? You guys understand that? The source is the same source that did it in the spring, according to this gentleman right here. He's the one that says...
Yeah, apparently, It's supposed to be that. That's what they, I don't remember who it was. I think it was like on court TV.
Right here.
They weren't really pictures.
So you said you got 4. The first one was Abby.
And they said, let me know if you think it's real or not.
Across it.
Yeah, it's pretty spooky.
Well, I remember that they rebuilt it, didn't they?
I'm sorry.
That they were working on it. They were rebuilding it.
Yeah, I don't think we can go very far now on the bridge. I think it's cut off.
Okay.
Hey, Blue, you're coming in a little muffled. I'm not sure if there's something up with your mic.
Me or-
So no, Big Blue.
Oh, blue. Oh.
Yeah. So when you were on the bridge, could you see Ronald Logan's property from the bridge? And well, first, how many pictures have you received?
I had 4 pictures sent to me.
4 pictures sent to you. And do you you don't have to disclose them, but do you know who the person is that sent it to you, or was it by random?
It was an anonymous email that has sent me stuff for probably about 6 months now. Just not like constantly, like maybe once every couple of weeks. They would send me something and they would say, like, is this real or have you seen this? So I've had a lot of people tell me they have crime scene pictures, and then when they send them to me, they're not the crime scene, they're fakes.
Right.
But this person, they emailed me and said, I've got something to show you. And they said, let me know if you think it's real or not. And the very first one I clicked on was Abby. And the minute I saw it, I knew it was real. I knew they were legit.
Right there. You can't, it's right here. The leak from the spring is the same leak from right now. So this hoopla about this leak and, oh my God, what are you going to, it's the same fucking person. He's saying it right here. This person has been sending him stuff since 6 months ago. Period. Okay. So it's the same source, it's the same person. So I'm going to put this back on law enforcement and doing the job of, whoever this person was. Okay, we need to get their electronics. We need to, get the shit. Who did you give this to? Type of thing. Whatever the leak was before. This person clearly had more. But if they didn't do anything about it the right way 6 months ago, you cannot go and slap the freaking attorneys. That's going to be how, hey, this person leaked it here. We fired them. If police want to sit down and do something with them, but I would think that that's a police matter. What do you want Baldwin and Rossi to do if they fire somebody or Baldwin fired somebody? What do you want me to do? But what's interesting to me is that this is what everybody wants to start talking about right now. And I'm over here like, this does not change what the fuck has happened in this case. You understand that? This has nothing to do with what took place for the past 5.5 to 6 years. Do we understand that? This leak has nothing to do with what took place during the murders, leading up to the murders, and then for the past 5.5 years, 6 years. Period. So do I think that these 2 attorneys aren't going to be representing Richard Allen anymore? Absolutely not. Do I think that this is the reason for even new things have arose, blah, blah, blah? Who knows? But to me, you're going to have to show the courts are going to have to say why they would be getting rid of these 2 attorneys. And you can't, you're going to have some proof here. And the proof that I see right here in front of us is that this leak had the shit 6 months ago and then re-leaked more stuff here recently. And what's interesting to me is that the people that are inserting themselves are the people that, have been involved in this case from jump. You're going to go to the Indiana State Police. You're going to go to the Indiana State Police after you've read 136 pages to see what the hell they didn't do for 2 little girls. Let's go to them because they're going to make it right. But I just feel like they've read the 136 pages, and you can go and watch their interviews with what they think about it. They're being biased towards it. Keegan Kline had nothing to do with the murders of Abby and Libby. Nothing. And then to hear Doug Carter talk about things like, oh, we got so much information from the whole thing with Keegan Kline. That's just a bunch of fucking bullshit. Sorry. And then allegedly a guy committed suicide in Kokomo. And I'm looking into making sure that I double check stuff, but I believe I have the name and all of that stuff, but I don't see how this has anything to do with these attorneys. And I'm very curious if they're crime scene photos or not. What makes them crime scene photos versus photos that of somebody that took them at the crime scene because they were there because they were involved in the murders. This is sick. They trying to set the defense up. Holy cow. Yeah, I think it's really sick. But this proves it. If you actually listen to his words here in this interview, he says that this is the same email that sent me stuff from 6 months ago of where he got these 4 photos. So, no offense, but I think KK's too fat to be trudging around and doing all that shit. That's the reason I say KK has nothing to do with it. And he's like a wannabe. Again, I'm going with what I read in 136 pages from lawyers that I think went above and beyond, and will continue to go above and beyond for their client. And that took a hell of a lot of time to do. They did a full investigation for that man. And they exposed, if I was a parent of Abby or Libby, I would be so thankful for those 2 attorneys. And I would not be surprised if Carrie Timmons starts speaking out about some stuff, because I think if there's anybody that's going to start being vocal about some stuff, because she was handed the rawest deal I've ever seen a parent that has a murdered child be handed. She was basically like removed out of the picture. Her daughter was murdered, and she's not going to be at the press conferences. She's not going to be the person that's a spokesperson for her own daughter. That is what police told her. We're going to have Mike Patty be the spokesperson for what? Shouldn't her mother be talking? You know what I mean? That's what, just to hear that. So again, I don't believe that you can ignore the 136 pages. And I believe that the narrative right now is trying to get these 2 attorneys off of Richard Allen's case. And you have to ask yourself, why? Why? They were strategic. They put emotion in, and that's how they went about getting some information out around a gag order. So them being creative, we should fucking, Richard Allen should get penalized for his attorneys doing their job. So it's okay that for the past 5.5 years, the jury pool, the potential jury pool was tainted for 5.5 years with a narrative that doesn't exist. But that's okay. Law enforcement's extension of the prosecution. If you're planning on prosecuting somebody, I don't think any of this is okay. And I don't think that, I think that Richard Allen has a right to actually ask the public for help if somebody knew something, just like how the police asked for the public's help for 5.5 years, but in fact did it through shitty ass, oh, here, help us with this. That wasn't even accurate, you know? couldn't have put that better myself. Well said and well done. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm going to show you another clip here of something that I found, and I want just to truly, like, you know, if somebody was to come and give me information that it was video of Sheldon Jeter Jr. killing Tyreek Pugh, I would accept that. And I'd be like, holy shit, how the fuck is this possible? And I would look at my work though. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't go burying it. I would like make sure that it was authentic. But I just believe that you have tunnel vision now with people that have an agenda with their careers, maybe, that don't want to look at facts. To sit here and say that Richard Allen, I still think that Richard Allen has something to do with it. How? How do you think that Richard Allen has something to do with it? I really want to hear that, because there's nothing tying Richard Allen to a fucking thing except for this magic bullet that wasn't even photographed the right way. I mean, read the documents. And they had Richard Allen's name completely wrong in the report. But Richard Allen said that he was there from this time, this time. That guy didn't take note. That guy didn't record the thing. He's going off of all what he thinks he remembers from interviewing Richard Allen. Why wouldn't Richard Allen go into the police station? You know what I'm saying? Everything about that is ridiculous. All right. And to go back to the drawing board, they said, and you just listen to the press conferences, but you listen also to the side interviews, and they had nobody. They had nobody because it was buried, or they actually knew who it was, but it was still buried. And then you're like, okay, before election of the the sheriff's position, this breaks. And that's just wild to me. Everything's political. It's sad. How about this? There was DNA. There's DNA. So when I found out, when I listened to the Anna interview again, and she's talking about, she says CC Moore. She says CC Moore in her interview. I was like, holy shit, what the hell? They wanted to do this testing. There's DNA that they wanted to test. But Anna was talking about, well, if the parent, you know, Abby and Libby are going to have DNA on them from like whoever they're living with, stuff like that. And I was like, well, wait a second, back on up, because it's not about that. It's about unknown. It's about unknown DNA. So we understand there may be DNA that's there that's going to be accounted for as, okay, it's your mom's, it's your dad's, it's your, you know, people that are in their, you know, wheelhouse. Okay. This was about my understanding of CC Moore wanting to offer her assistance with doing genealogy testing, like to do genealogy with the testing that they already had. And that was shot down. This was in 2020. Okay. So a couple years had passed. And that's actually when you want to start doing, you know, that type of investigative work, not Brian Koberger's case where you claim that you did it out the gate. So, but here in my last episode that I did, I showed Anna talking about this and her saying that, well, the police didn't think that it was necessary. The police didn't, you know, what do you mean? What's not? What are you talking about? You have no leads. You have nothing. And you're not going to allow somebody to come in and to possibly help find, you know, 2 little girls' killers. And in order to do that, guys, you have to have DNA. So where's this DNA? Where's this DNA that in 2020 CC Moore wanted to help to do, you know, the genetic genealogy? Where is it? Why wasn't it done? Okay. And I think the way that Anna was talking about it and trying to, you know, it was like the family and family members were under such scrutiny. that it was just going to bring, no, we're not, we're talking about unknown. You guys are all known. We're talking about, are there any unknown samples? If there's unknown samples, that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to use and make trees and shit like that. Okay. So, but it's interesting to me that they turn this down, right? But then when they arrest Richard Allen, they arrest him. Let me back up. When they serve the probable cause on Ron Logan, they don't even they're not looking for Ron Logan's guns. If there's this magic bullet, why aren't you trying to look through Ron Logan's guns? Go read that probable cause for Ron Logan. There's not a mention of a magic bullet. Like there's it's just interesting. Then you fast forward to Richard Allen and there's DNA. Is there DNA there? Any DNA from Richard Allen anywhere? Then you have this magic bullet that you're matching it to a SIG that was in Richard. There's no photographs of this bullet. I mean, come on. And so I want to know what DNA that CeCe Moore was going to use or offered up her assistance, and that so much so that Anna talked about it in an interview that happened in 2020 on September 30th, 2020. She talks about it. And I was blown away because I was like, wait, what? So there is DNA. There's DNA. And then you're going to if you test the DNA, it's either going to match family or it's not. And then you're going to have unknowns. I can only imagine that CeCe Moore was trying to help on the unknowns, right? Because they work with the FBI. The FBI was on that case, right? Hey, we have some data files. Like, what's going on? Let's do what they allegedly did in the Brian Kohlberger case, right? In other cases. And here that was turned down. The police said that we're not going to do that. Why would the fucking police say that? I'm gonna say that CeCe Moore is not going to interject herself if there wasn't DNA. I'm like, that'd be just so ridiculous. There would be no reason for her to approach or ask if they want that help. So I do believe that there is DNA. It's unknown. But do you think that Richard Allen's defense team, like, if there's DNA, do you think they're testing stuff? Do you think they have tested stuff? They went ahead and deposed all these people. So what would be the process if you're taking articles and stuff wasn't tested? Don't they have to put like motions in to like test that DNA to get that tested? Have we seen any motions of anything being tested on the girl's clothing? Because the reason I asked this is, which is dealing with the Joe Cannon case and talking about that you have all this stuff in evidence and some stuff. In his case, nothing was tested. But
Gotcha. Were the girls identifiable? Like, as if somebody saw the pictures, they could definitely identify that those were Lydia and Abby?
If you knew what they looked like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, gotcha. And so you said you got 4. The first one was Abby. Was this from the perspective of, well, was there anybody in the background of these pictures?
No.
Okay, so this is probably somebody that found them. 'Cause I assume that if it was police department, then you would be able to see forensic people in the background, things of that nature, if you could see the background.
Yeah, I think I tend to think that they were some sort of official photos because it seemed like the way the pictures were taken were to show certain aspects. And I think that they were probably some kind of official source to begin with, but they weren't really pictures. They were pictures of pictures. There was one where you could see a cursor in the
Oh,
picture.
gotcha.
So you knew it was a picture of a computer screen.
Got you.
So it was, I'm guessing, I mean, it could have been somebody as disconnected, to the main body of the investigation as a paralegal,
Right.
that's doing something with the files.
Now, in these pictures, and I'm assuming you can probably get a clear picture or a clear view of the scene.
Okay, so with what he says right there, a picture of a picture, there's metadata behind that picture of a picture. So, wow. Let's take a look though. I wanted to fast forward this to show this.
Is that there was 3 girls that were walking out of the trail and they saw somebody coming in, right? And this was around 1:30.
So he's a very short guy. At first, the first time I saw him, he looked, like he was, a healthy guy, maybe a little paunchy, like me. And now, I mean, he just looks, I don't know. I honestly don't know if I would recognize him as the same guy if I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, some people have a theory that it's just him putting on a show. So if they put him on the stand and say, "Does this look like the gentleman in the video or the photos?" He's gonna look nowhere near there. He's gonna look.
Yeah.
You know, he's not stocky no more. He lost a lot of weight. He has 2 different people.
I mean, I love Blue to death, but no, what the witnesses are already going to say that that's not him. Okay, they're already going to say that that's not him because it's not him because that's not the description that Betsy Blair gave. So, but let me check. Let me show you guys something else.
It should have happened in the beginning, but it won't.
Right. Yeah, I agree. It won't happen now. Is Indiana a death penalty state?
Somewhere in hell. Now, the problem that they have when people say, well, Brad Holder says he was at work and he was clocked in and he's on the camera at work. Brad Holder doesn't have to be the bridge guy.
Right.
Brad Holder could have had somebody else abduct them and then, after work, gone to Delphi.
Mhm.
Now, the thing about that is, and I know you talked about this in your previous live, there was a post by Brad Holder at about 2 a.m. on the 14th, and it said, "My testosterone and adrenaline are off the charts right now. Too bad I got to work out by myself or whatever."
Mhm.
Something of that nature.
Right. Yeah, I had seen that, and that was kind of weird. That's definitely kind of weird. And like I said, I mean, the way the scene has been described, or what we know of it and what you've seen of it, it definitely does sound like there's more to it. Why do you think law enforcement were so quick to dismiss it? Why wasn't that an angle that they would have looked into? Why do you think Odinism holds something over law enforcement that they would look elsewhere?
Well, you have Elvis Fields telling his sister on the 14th, the day that they were discovered. You have him telling his sister that he did something and he might have to go away for a long time. Okay. He didn't mention what it was. But then later, I don't know how much later, but
That's a spitting image of like the sketch, the beady eyes, just so you know. What is up, Manny Joe? How you doing? Let's see. I got something for you guys. I don't know how I find the time to do this shit, but all right. Back on the day of the murders, or I should say after the murders happened, people went out to preserve Abby and Libby's Instagrams. And I came across, Julie, who put it out there, and I'm going to show it to you guys. And then what I did is I took every single freaking account that, here, I'm just going to pull it up right now. That was following, or, they followed, and I came across, let's see, where is it? Here we go. Okay. So I went ahead and, paused it, looked at the people, put their names down, did my thing. All right. And we get to right here. A little bit more, a little bit more. Right here. Logan Holder, and that says King Logan 5. Okay, Logan Holder, King Logan 5. All right. Can you guys see that? So I went and took that account and looked in Instagram. That account no longer exists. All right. So I was looking at more like the name of the account, and it's this one right here, and it's King and then Logan, and then it's the number 5, and it's a picture of somebody that's taking a picture from a car, and it's looking like out the car window, like grass, drive walk, like whatever. But this Logan Holder, and now this is Liberty's, Insta, and this is 419 people following. Okay. And Anna had said that Abby had a Facebook. Well, also, so think about this. If I'm going to be following, or someone's following me that is this, person that my friend allegedly was like dating or something like that, I'd have to know about this person, right? Or do you think that this guy, this kid at 16 is just following, and then she's just like, oh, who's this? She knows who Logan is. All right. So then I wanted to see if Abby in fact had, and she did. She had a right here, Abigail Williams. And so Abigail Williams had, okay. All right. How do I want to say this? So Abigail Williams also had Facebook, but now she also had Insta. All right. And wasn't supposed to have these accounts, right? Perfect. But I went ahead and looked at Brad Holder's account again, and I went ahead and looked at Logan Holder's account again. And let me explain something to you guys. Why would Logan Holder, because back, I can go pull up his Insta, and you're going to be able to go back and you're going to see that the Instagram that he had that back then, Facebook. All right. But then you come to this account that clearly is there in 2017. It's no longer there today. So this was like a second account. You understand what I'm saying? Like this isn't the account that he's using today, and the account that he's using today he's had for a minute. So he's had a second account? Why would you delete your Instagram? That Logan King 5 account does not exist. Go type it in. You can't find it. There's other things that don't exist. Like, so I was trying to see what and who was following her, that their accounts don't exist anymore. And I came across this Delphi. Where is it? It's a church, like a ministry thing. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay, photograph by Liberty. Go. That's still around. Go check that out. You can see all the people that have liked any of her pictures that she took. That was hers. Maybe it's at the beginning. Okay, Liberty link, and there's whatever you want to call it. What's that? A leaf? Is that a leaf? You guys see that? Hold on. Right there. So she was following 419 people. And I went through all of these to see if these accounts still existed. And I got to, hold on. I just want to see if anybody that's in that area knows about this. I've been cross-referencing all of Elvis Fields' stuff too, because he had like 5,000 friends on one of these things. So it's been taking a minute. Right there. There it is. Got it. Delphi UMC Teen Ministry doesn't exist anymore. Delphi UMC Teen Ministry. What is it? Does anybody know what that is? Delphi UMC Teen Ministry doesn't exist anymore. Does anybody know what that is? From the area, go ahead and write it down. Go ahead and do some deep diving. United Methodist. Why wouldn't it still exist, though? That's my point. Why would that not exist anymore? No one to fill the roles to run the program. Yes, Delphi. The program doesn't. UMC Methodist Church. So is the church not there anymore? They're not doing the program anymore? Normally what ends up happening, though, is that the page will still be there, even if no one's running it anymore. Like that page. So somebody went ahead and just deleted the Instagram account, this Instagram account. Because what was it? There may not be. I understand. My question is that normally what will just happen is that page will just still be there. Even if no one's running it or doing anything with it, you have to go through the links to what you're going to close down this account. Okay. Like I have my trivia accounts on Instagram and Facebook, and when COVID hit and everything like that, I mean, I did not go and, oh, you know what? Let me go delete these Instagram and Facebook accounts. They're still there. They haven't been written on in fucking forever, but they're there. So somebody went to hey, let's go delete that account. Again, I saw this, looked it up. Wanted to know, because she accepted it if she's private. Wanted to know why it would be deleted today. But then I looked at Logan. Logan's here. He's here. He's, she's following this account of his. That account doesn't exist anymore. Logan has a different account. And then we go back and we look at Brad Holder. They had different accounts. He had more than one account. And then we go look at Elvis Fields. Have you guys seen Elvis Fields shit? Holy man. If anybody wants to help me take on that task, it's 5,000 people on this one account. And they are all like straight up hookers. Straight up hookers. I think you're absolutely right. Let's just go ahead and call them. You guys ready? We're going to go ahead and call United Methodist in Delphi and ask them. Okay, ready? United Methodist. Delphi Methodist Church. Perfect. We're going to see who was running that Facebook page.
Delphi Methodist Church. This is Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. I was wondering if you could help me with a question that I had.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Did you guys ever have a Delphi teen ministry?
We did and do.
Oh, okay. So do you guys have like anything for like social media stuff?
Yes, we have our website that you can find more information on our church and the teen ministry, as well as they have their own Facebook page, and I think they have an Instagram.
Okay. Okay.
But if you go to our website, I think there are links to that. I'm going right now to see if I can find it. Do you have something to write down with?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Our website is just www.delphimethodist.church.
Okay.
And on the top part, it says ministries.
Okay.
And if you go under the ministries, it says teen ministries.
Okay.
And then there's information about that.
Okay. And now, you said that you have like Instagram and Facebook and stuff.
Yes.
When did? How long? For like the
church as well as our teen ministry.
Okay. And who normally like if we were to follow that page or follow, you follow us, like who would my kid be talking with? I'm just doing some checks and balances. Like,
I'm sorry, can you tell me who you are?
Oh yeah, my name's Lana.
Lana, and are you from an organization or?
Yes. Yeah. So I was just curious if my kid was to be talking to like an account that pops up, is it run by, I was just making sure this wasn't like fake people.
Well, no, it's people on staff our church staff.
Okay, yeah, that you know what I'm saying. I'm just making, I'm just double checking to see because I was trying to understand why this account wasn't popping up like as like that it still existed. So
You mean
did
our church Facebook, our team Facebook? I'm having trouble understanding what you're saying.
okay. So if like it says Delphi UMC Teen Ministry commented, so it's like, is that what your guys' account's called, or is this somebody that's trying to troll?
I would have to look up what exactly because we changed church names.
Okay.
So on
Oh, maybe that's
Delphi
why. When did you?
Methodist Church, and now we're Delphi Methodist Church.
When did you guys change
So
names? That's probably why.
So our church, as well as many churches nationwide, have disaffiliated from the United under Delphi United Methodist Church.
Okay.
So I can't pull up let me try to find our Facebook here.
Okay.
But we have a church Facebook as well as a teen Facebook page.
Okay, I'm trying to look it up as I'm typing www.delphi. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I always have it bookmarked. I don't have it I'm pulling it up on my phone, but I cannot figure out what the handle is, if you will.
Yeah. No, I always say the wrong things too. I'm like the @ symbol, then I have to use this name.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you guys would have done this though, like, so the change in the name you guys were still like the church though, right? Like, you know what I mean? If your name just changed, did you just drop the Methodist or the United out?
Yes, we're still the same church.
Yeah. Okay. That's all. I'm just making sure on that. And then if it's when people have to like respond and stuff to the kids, like it's people that you know and trust. I'm just doing my.
If it's for our church, we have 3 different people that respond to that, and I'm on the account. I'm one of them. If it's our teen Facebook page, is our youth minister.
Okay.
That responds. So I just pulled up our Delphi Methodist Church Facebook page, and I'm trying to find where like the address would be.
Yeah. Okay. So let me look that up too.
So it's just Delphi Methodist.
Okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
And I think we had to change that a couple months ago, and I think it was like Delphi UNC, but then of course we had to change it.
Okay. And so when you guys just changed it, you just started a whole new like Facebook page, or is it all?
No, we did not start anything new. We just changed the name. So all of our content from years past is still there.
Okay. And then you've been with them for a while.
Did you get something?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that.
Or what?
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure that this is not people being, I don't know, I just get really paranoid with, I guess, social media and people messaging and trying to pretend like other people. And
so did you get something from our church? I guess I'm confused of why you're calling.
Yeah. It was,
where you're coming from.
yes, it was Delphi, but it said UMC Teen Ministry. So like,
I mean, it could still be the teen one. That could still be UMC. That
yeah, that's all I wanted you to check. I just wanted you to check and see if that was you guys.
A child in our
no. That's what
ministry.
No, we were looking at churches. So I mean, we had gotten we do like the letters thing.
Okay. But you got a letter from us?
No, we did the letters things. Like we were looking into places to do, programs but the thing that I was trying to understand is was this a real account?
I can't get to our teen one right now for some reason, but I don't know if they had changed their name yet.
Yeah, that's all.
Delphi UMC, now we're Delphi Methodist. So
okay, but okay, I think that makes. You've helped me. I'm just making sure that this is what it says it is. That's all. It's nothing. This is just me being a concerned parent.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you've been around for a while, right? Like this is like, I just want to make sure that because we're gonna try to start doing stuff with the church. We wanna start giving back.
Have you been here before?
Yeah, no, I have not been there
you visited
before.
our-
I'm just
Okay,
over
have you
here. I'm
visited
just
our church,
woo.
not just-
Yeah.
Have you visited our
No,
church
we're looking to
before?
move to the area. I'm just taking precautions. So we were just concerned. That's all. But you rock.
Okay.
But you rock. You're a sweetheart. You've been great. And I just woo.
Okay.
You just gotta keep your eyes out for all the crazies that like to message you and your kids. So I was just making sure it was a real account. I was just making sure it was a real account. So
Okay.
and you've pretty much told me that. I trust you. You seem like you're on it, and you gave me the new information, which is why there would be an M in there versus not an M or a
Yes.
U.
Yes, and it's going to be confusing probably for another couple months for people.
Okay. So that was recent then. Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. So we disaffiliated in July, but we just changed over all our names probably within the last month or two.
Okay, that makes sense then. Okay, woo. I thought maybe it wasn't real, so that helps me.
I found our teen Facebook is called Delphi Methodist Teen Ministry.
Okay, and this was from.
However, there's still a website that has the UNC listed.
Okay, there is the website.
It is little confusing. Yeah.
Okay, but this was from Instagram. I think this is Instagram. I can never keep these two straight.
Okay, so,
do you guys don't have Twitter? This
they
is just
do-
Instagram.
The teen ministry does have Instagram, yes.
Okay.
And on our website, I think there's a link to the teen Instagram, and I don't have access to that. I mean, I've got a teen in the youth group, but
Okay.
The youth minister handles the Instagram account.
Okay, and then that's going to be all run through the youth pastor.
It's all gone through the youth pastor, yes.
Perfect. That's all right. Perfect. That's all I needed to know. I just wanted to make sure that wasn't like
Okay.
kids running it or something like that.
No, I can tell you that. I've had 2 kids go through the program, and it was the youth pastor.
Okay, perfect. And then, but you did say that you guys do have Instagram, because I'm going to go on the website. I thought I was just on it. I just want to make sure that this link works and this is exactly what it would be. And I think.
Yeah, and I can't tell. I'd have to look up like my Instagram to figure out what the teen Instagram is. I don't even keep those in my head. I follow them, but I don't know what they are.
Okay. And is it public to follow? Like their public accounts?
I don't know if it's public or not because I do follow it. So I don't know if I had to click on it or what, but it's Delphi Methodist Teens for the Instagram. But the handle, I guess you would call it, is DMC Teens.
Okay, let me see here. I think that's what.
And I don't know if it's public or not because I follow it. So.
Oh, that's right. Because then you wouldn't be able to tell that if it was. Okay, let me see. I have it as so DUMC Teens.
No, not the U. No, it's just DMC Teens.
Okay, but that was just because you changed the name. Like, what was it ever? DUMC
Yes.
Teens.
It could have been DUNC Teens prior to our disaffiliation, and that's probably what it was, but I can't remember.
Okay. And then it's the same page though. It's just a different name now. Like there's not like 2 accounts.
Yes, the same. There's not more than one account that I'm aware of.
Okay, perfect. That's all I needed to
I'm
know.
on it right now, and it goes back a long time.
Okay, so good.
It
So
goes back prior to our disaffiliation.
So for like a couple years.
Quite possible. I'm still scrolling. So,
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, wait.
And,
On the top, it should say when it started. How long?
He's had it for years. So I don't know when he started it.
Oh, okay. So for years. That's all. Perfect. All right, perfect. I just wanted to make sure this was something that was not a new account. It was legit, and you got it. I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate your help.
Okay.
Okay,
No
hon,
problem.
thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Now, here we go. Here's going to be a great call. Let's go ahead and call.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, you're my go-to for social media questions. Question, you were on live, by the way.
Oh my goodness. Okay, hi. Sorry.
Okay, so check this out. If I was to change the name of my page on Facebook,
Yeah.
okay, it's the same Facebook account, right? And let's say that I went ahead and I pumped in a name that it used to have.
Okay.
Okay. Would it still pop up and just show it like the new account? Or the new name of it?
Whatever you change the name to. So that way you'd like keep all your followers.
Yeah. So
what I'm
like
saying?
basically if I changed the name of my page from
Mhm.
Truth and Transparency to Truth, period.
Truth, period. Yep.
And then I went ahead and I changed on Instagram and I changed the handle as well.
Mhm.
Would if somebody was to look me up by typing up Truth and Transparency, would they still be directed to my my page, even though it's just called Truth now?
Not if you changed it all, no. I mean, it might pop up in like the search box, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like the search bar.
Prompt it, but it wouldn't actually, I don't know how that would work for IG necessarily. I think it would just be all the same thing because I mean I had to do that once and it just everything transferred over pretty much. So you'd have the same followers and whatever. And then it would just update your followers that a page that you liked and followed had updated their name.
Okay. And now what if I was to type in an old one? Like if I was to type in my old handle on Instagram and that page actually then had a new handle, would it reroute me?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% on that, but I'm not sure if it would automatically reroute you. I think it would just, the search engine would like pop up for something like you used to like, and then it would probably, prompt you a picture, but I'm not sure if you're changing the handles and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
If it would pop up automatically, if that's what you mean.
Yeah, I'm just so let's see here. So basically, if this person was ever following me or I was following them, even if I switched my name, I'd still be following them, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, okay, perfect. Thank you for your time.
Oh, you're welcome.
You doing good, sexy lady? Sexy
doing
lady.
great. Sexy lady. Yeah, I'm doing great. I'm going to pick up my kiddo at school right now, so
Look at you, mom, and like a mother.
This is how I do.
All right. Well, we love you. Love you. I'll call you later, babe.
Yes, I'll see you guys in the chat soon.
All right. Chat it up.
All right, love ya.
Bye. All right. We're going full on turtle today. Yeah. Well, we're not doxing anybody today, but yeah. Indiana is a one party, so I could call them. And it was just for security reasons. If we're going to be moving over to Delphi and Logansport, we need to make sure that we can be with a reputable church that we can give back to the community. So Oh, that woman's so confused. But we got the information that we needed. The information that we got is that this should be the same account. Therefore, this account should have been following. It would have all of that. I wonder if Richard Allen's defense team has access to, because they would have pulled all of the social medias of these two girls. So all of this stuff should be, there if they did that. Anyways, but yeah, so I'm gonna pull him up. Mr. Logan here, he was on, she was following him. So go ahead back to the beginning here so you could see that right there. Done with people's shit. So it says, low on. For them to ask you who following 419. Followed by Steve Hartman. Whoever did this, they're friends with Steve Hartman. Isn't that interesting? Low on self-esteem, so you run on gasoline. Allison is my best friend. Who the fuck is Allison? Followed by Steve Hartman. I did a deep dive into Steve Hartman. Anyways, going back to the whole leak, it's the same leak. It's the same person. I want to know if there's any maybe bribing going on or what have you, but it's the same leak as it was before. I kind of wanted to see a little bit of the interview before I wrap this up of you like that? Who the fuck is Allison? Anyways, I wanted to hear a little bit from the podcasters though themselves. Yeah. So let's see something here.
And we are live. How's it going, everybody? Well, it's Tuesday night. This is our second live.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine, thanks.
You're coming off at
7 or 8 at the time. Where I would go play hide and seek was right next door.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just kind of been driven by a certain sector because he's already telling me he knows where my mother is that are known in the town. Like Dave Mann, Mann Chevrolet.
Okay.
Body to help us out because he is innocent. He has told us that very emotionally. He has thanked us for our help. And we are anxious for the public to read this. We're anxious for this thing to get going. And, we'll see. And when you guys read the PCA, presuming that the judge grants our motion, you will have to question, is this what happens after 5 years of an investigation? Is this what it is? We don't have any other evidence. We don't have any discovery. That's all we have. And we are not impressed.
When you say this would help get it out,
Boom. Baldwin came out the gate saying this. Everything that he's ever said out the gate. This is what he said. Like, look at that PCA. This is what you have after 5.5 years. Well, now we realize that they had a shit ton, but it wasn't at this man. It was, a different route that got buried. So I urge people, when you want to listen about this leak, and this leak has been known, it's the same leak. It's from 6 months ago. It's the same thing. I don't know how two lawyers could possibly, if they fired somebody and they did everything right back 6 months ago, if law enforcement didn't do something about, maybe going and talking to this person, getting the, whatever they took, how they took it, get it from them. But this is not on these attorneys. You fire somebody, what are you supposed to do? So, but you have it right there at the beginning of the podcast. They admit that it's the same email that had sent them stuff 6 months ago. That's the leak. Next up is this part, which is let me go ahead and share this one.
Daniel J. Big Blue here with you guys. Anya King from the Murder Sheet podcast.
It is
I guess the evidence of him being there's no scratch wounds or any of those things, as far as, from what I understand, as far as DNA underneath the fingernails, things of that nature. Did y'all see did y'all consider his physical appearance as a possibility as a defense?
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. He's definitely very small. That was our assessment of him. Standing next to, the cops guarding him, especially, he just looks like a very small man. But I mean, I tend to think appearances can be deceiving, and without having talked to anyone who's like, oh, he was really had physical problems.
For more solid evidence against Richard Allen?
That's a great question, because it's the investigation is still ongoing, and that kind of tells you that either they want more or they want to know, if somebody else was involved. And I don't feel like we really have a sense of how strong the case is against Allen as is. Frankly, I think we commented that we felt that there were aspects of the probable cause affidavit for his arrest that were felt a little bit thin, or maybe raised some questions. That doesn't mean the case is weak, because there could be a lot of things behind the scenes that are really solid that we just don't know about yet. So it's
basically, if you read the probable cause affidavit, the most important piece of evidence that they outlined, I think we've alluded to it, was that there was an unspent bullet basically found near the bodies of the girls. And they had this shell examined, and it looked to their expert as if it came from a gun owned by Richard Allen. And we've talked to a number of ballistics experts, and they gave us kind of different opinions. Some people said, no, you can't do that. The guns are mass produced, and those markings would look the same from any number of guns.
And then others said, no, you can't identify it based on that. And
so if that's their big evidence at the trial, there's some concern that may not be enough. Now, for all we know, there's other evidence they already have that they didn't reveal in the probable cause affidavit, or they may still be actively searching for still more evidence.
I'd say that like if people have stories or people have some sort of interaction with Alan, whatever that might be, I think, that would be something police would be interested in hearing about, and they should come forward. I know for us personally, we've interviewed a lot of people who knew him, and a lot of it's just very kind of like no red flags. So that's interesting. Like nobody, we really kind of tried to talk to as many people as possible. And naturally, we just want the honest truth. We don't want to make him look bad or good or anything. But from my assessment, a lot of the interactions with him have been good from people we talked to.
Our next big chance to learn more about the evidence they have against him will come at the bail hearing. Because basically, at the bail hearing, at the bond hearing, the state of Indiana has to offer up evidence to show, like, there's no reason to keep this guy in prison or jail. And they have to have evidence more than what they have in the probable cause affidavit. So what is likely going to happen when that hearing occurs?
It's very possible, but in my opinion, when I Google searched how the router works, it doesn't track who's around that could connect to it. It just throws out a signal that can be connected to. And so if he connected to it, then that would mean it was either
only one actually that
had a wider launcher in the area. Do you?
Oh, if someone else was involved, that means they were out in the woods that day and physically participated in the killings. And I think everybody, I'm sure, can imagine scenarios where like information is shared in a way that leads to the crimes, but it's not necessarily as direct as like an accomplice on the scene. So, I mean, I think we just try to keep an open mind. If it turns out the Anthony shots was just a red herring that has nothing to do with it, it was just a really disturbing catfishing scenario that ended up having no bearing on what happened. Well, I mean, that's horrible that there's so many horrible people out there, and these girls had the misfortune of interacting with two of them separately. But I think we're still very highly interested on where that's going, especially in light of the comments made by the police and prosecutor.
For sure. Thank you, Alexa, for the 5.
A week or so after the murders, but then he's arrested in August 2020.
Got you. Yeah, because I thought maybe perhaps they were looking at a different angle, that they were thinking it was Ronald Logan. They cleared Ronald Logan. The sketches were done by 2 different agencies. Who did the first one?
The first one that was released, which is the older man sketch, was done by the FBI. And then the second one that was released, which was actually the first one made, was done by the Indiana State Police.
So how's that for confusing? The first one released was the second one made, and the second one released was the first one. Yeah.
So the old man, though, that one was done by the FBI, right?
Yeah, the older man sketch was done by the FBI.
The FBI was looking at Ronald Logan, correct, as a possible suspect.
No. Yeah. So anyways, you're assuming a lot. You can't just assume that the person who sent them to me was part of any leak. They could have gotten them from someone else, just like I did. Absolutely. 100%. I would actually love to hear from you. So let me know. You're welcome to come on up at another time. But I believe that you said the leak, though, began 6 months ago with that person, right? That you started getting stuff 6 months ago. So, but would love to hear that. Thank you for stopping by. She's assuming this person was the leaker. I'm assuming this person was the leaker to you, 100%. This was your leaker. This is who leaked it to you. So yeah, they are a leaker because that's how you got it from this person. Spit on the like button. How about just the touch DNA button? Just touch it. So yeah. Like I said, thank you for the new membership there. Christina, Hugh, Amateur. Thank you for the $2 there. Seattle, baby. Seattle. They are all leakers. They are all leakers. I never said what this person was sending me 6 months ago. It could have been some of the stuff I talked about that was fake. I get it if you're protecting a source, but I'm just going based off of what you said. So if you would like to hit me up, we can email, we can talk about it. I was just going straight off of what you said. And you said that you'd received 4 photos, and the photos that you received came from an email that had been sending you stuff for the past up to 6 months. Like I said, I just let your words in that interview speak. And so what that seems to me is 6 months ago was when there was the spring leak. And I'm very curious as to know why you would say that maybe they were law enforcement photos, maybe they weren't. But I just think at the end of the day, the 136 pages that these attorneys put out, I don't believe they're going to risk their career and all the work that they've done to put out a motion for 136 pages of everything that's in there is coming from police, FBI, state police, local police. It's all documents they're referencing. So but yeah, like I said, would love to hear true, but I've never gotten anything else from the source that I wouldn't have considered real. Yeah, so if you just rewind it back, I think that you'll see that it's just I'm connecting two dots. There was a leak in the spring. There's a leak now. You receive stuff back in the spring. You receive stuff now, and actually, what you received recently was in fact allegedly crime scene photos. So I've had my fair share with trolls, and I could tell you that they have no problem mixing in the real stuff with the fake stuff to keep themselves riding around on thin ice. Hey, don't take me seriously, but here you go again. That's why I had expected whatever they had sent me to be fake. Yeah, that's the work of a troll, but trolls get their hands on stuff. It's all on my channel in case people want to get the actual story. Well, the actual story. Well, my story is I'm covering it from the aspect of is that this is the person that leaked it to you. So this, in my opinion, is a leak. And this leak was from 6 months ago. So, and if this person was in fact had any connection to do with the law office of Baldwin, that person was terminated. I think that if they wanted to take the leak seriously back then, they should have, and they should have started looking into people's, devices, whoever brought forth this information and where they got it from, the email addresses, and start seeing what you can do. Nice channel plug. Yeah, exactly. But again, Delphi After Dark, clearly somebody sent you here, unless you watch me, which then again, thank you. This was no dig on you at all. It was to point out that this person had messaged you 6 months ago when there was a leak, and now they messaged you again when there was a leak again. So at the end of the day, this person is your leak. That's how you got the photos. This is your leak, period. That's all. And if the other people had gotten it from somebody else, then that's their leak. But this is your leak, buddy. That's all. I don't think this has any bearing on what should be truly being talked about, which is two little girls and what happened to them, and that it was basically covered up because those 136 pages aren't lying, period. So, but we will be back. Thank you for being here. See you guys on the flip.
Today is not a day to celebrate, but the arrest of Richard M. Allen of Delphi on 2 counts of murder is sure a major step in leading to the conclusion of this long-term and complex investigation. Of this long-term and complex investigation. Of this long-term and complex investigation. Of this long-term and complex investigation.